Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. We're here. We are here, I promise. There he is. Couple things I want to grab for you. We got Calico open, so we want to work with that today. It's been a while since we've done a live practice, so anybody who wants to join, we're going to be doing coins today. And basically, this is just a chance for us to practice in a live setting for people to jump on and kind of enjoy the time with. We actually have a new stand shelf over here, new to me anyway. We got to get that organized. But yeah, so we have Bobos, we have Calico that just came out last month from Rick Holcomb. Let's see what other coin books we can find. Let's see, there's a Scotch and Soda, but we don't need that one. And let's see. I think we don't really have a lot of coin books, but between these two, there's a lot. Oh, there might be some more coin magic over in the trunk, the bag, the travel bag that we were doing for our club meetings at the local Y. Speaking of, I've got to set up another appointment, another meeting for that. Try to get some more people invested and involved in a local magic club. Let's take a look, see here. View your channel. I am live, so that's good. I gotta mute myself. And perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and like that. Now we've been going live a lot more over on Mitchell the Go Animator. Hello, Mitchell. Good to see you. So we are doing a live practice. This is something that we haven't done it in quite a while, but basically we just pick a particular prop and we practice with it. So I'm doing fantastic. We're having a good time. So I did a coin video earlier because sometimes I just like to have the coins in my pocket so I can practice different moves, whether it be by themselves or together. That's the objective. So, yeah. Just perform that live. Fantastic. So that's a little bit of coin magic for you. The Kraken coin is a Copeland coin. The Bigfoot coin, I have two of those. And then I also have two Peking coins, Chinese coins, and a Morgan dollar is what I have out so far. I have other stuff, again, out over in the bag. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to take my chat. I'm going to pop my chat out. There's a button for it. Hold on. Pop out chat. And over here. There we go. Perfect. So now we can kind of see what's happening in real time. Plus we've got my chat ready. And we really would just want to have a good time. So I'm going to take my rings off for this today because silent is better, but also for practicing, I want to practice with both hands because my left hand is a little bit rusty. As you can see. Get in there. So basically, a lot of the things that I advocate for is I advocate 100% for having this thing not in the way. Pretty sure you can hear me. Yeah, that's good. I was messing around earlier with my voice changer, so The only thing I can't see is how many people are watching. So if you are watching, like Mitchell, we've got a nice chat going on down there. We will take breaks to conversate. But basically, we're just working on our moves. Now, what I typically do with this move, sitting and doing coin work is difficult, especially when you're doing close-up hand stuff. It just feels weird to me. I do a lot of this standing most of the time. So basically, you start off by having the coin over here, and then what you want to do is you want to just give it a little bit of a shake. Yeah. And then it'll jump over here. So I like doing that move. Simple back palm. I mean, you're learning stuff here too. So if you want to grab a coin, join along. I particularly like these ones, and I do have my Mario coins, my Super Mario coins. I have almost the whole set of them, and I mess around with these a lot too because they are slightly bigger, and I got bigger hands, so it just looks good in my hand. This is a production that I came up with, which is a single coin production, because I believe everybody should have the ability to do something with a single coin and then potentially do stuff with more coins as you go along. We were carrying the Mystics today. We might be using our pockets to practice a little bit, but for now, that's the idea. So the back palm for the coin is a particularly interesting thing, and that's why I like to do the cover to get it over here. So that way you're watching this hand and not this hand. With coin magic like this, you really have to risk it because things can happen. Things can go wrong, and just make sure that you can do that. So I can show the back palm because it's right in the right in Bobo's. Is pretty sure that's where I learned it. This has pretty much everything, and the basic mechanics is similar to what you would do with the cards, but you want to make sure that you have a coin. At least in my mind, you want to make sure you have a coin that semi-fits between the fingers in a comfortable way, so it makes it look good. So it makes it look even. If you have too small of a coin, things like that, you might have to adjust your hand. So starting in a fingertip grip, so to speak, you slide it down, having it between your middle finger, with your middle finger and your ring finger here, thumb on this side. I typically create a little bit of movement with the coin before I do it, tipping it down, straight down to the floor to get it on the back, and then come up like this. So that when I show the back of the hand, I can then show the front of the hand with the coin. And I like doing it like that because when you show the back, it looks the same. So that when I come back to the front, I'm actually opening my hand, protruding the coin out, so it gives it this depth idea to it. And so I'm just doing like a shuttle pass, but you could do anything that would get that coin over to here, a simple retention vanish, or even the French drop would work because you're creating movement over to here. And then you just want to, this gives your hand the opportunity to dip down as you're still looking at this hand. And then you're going to turn this hand out to be the opposite of the other hand. As you do that, you're going to mimic. So when you turn it around, all focus should be over here. Then you look over here to show that coin. And so how can we make this better is really the question. Can I make it better between just making this move, just practicing? I mean, this took me, in all honesty, it took me years to get to the point to do the back palm with the coin just to this point. And it's just a really hard move to do. And so that's why I spend a lot of time with the misdirection aspect of making the coin be over here. As this is a practice session, dropping things is something that's going to happen. Especially with the back palm, I think, being that it is a more difficult move. Maybe it'll be easier for you, but personally for me, any moves that tend to be a little bit harder for my hands to do, dropping risk goes up. but that's okay. It's how we learn. Now, I really have to be careful with the Mario coins. What I figured out is that the sticker actually comes off. These are from Wonder Balls, which if you want a Mario coin, has Super Mario on the back and a sticker on the front. They're not a terrible sticker, but if you drop them enough, maybe I shouldn't have, shouldn't practice with these, but the sticker will come off. This is from the red set. There is actually a green set which is minted, so the picture is actually stamped on. I have been looking for these. They were out. They were out. And then when I went to buy these, the red ones were the only ones I could find. So I might have to order them online. I really enjoy the color of them. You can get the unique ones like Peach here. You can get Mario, which is the red, and then you can get the green Luigi. And I think there's another one. I think Bowser might be a unique one. But I really enjoy these ones, and as you can see, the paint will wear off eventually, so it's just really something to keep in mind. Same thing with these; they get this patina on them. There's a whole bunch of places that you can go to coin wise. Copeland Coins had one. It's not available now, but they had almost a whole episode of their memberships dedicated to how to freshen up your coins. So you can certainly find that. Rick Holcomb was a part of that, so he might even have some ideas. If you have a coin guy who's been in the field, they know what they're doing, so they'll be able to walk you through that. So now what I want to practice is a little bit of manual dexterity with the hands, besides the back palm. A little bit of flourishing it always is nice. Now here's what I've noticed the mistake that I make with the finger roll is the fingers should be doing the rolling, but I tend to, and I don't know if this is wrong per se, but I tend to have my thumb in there helping. And I don't know if that's right or not, but I still think this looks okay. And then when you get down to here, you can clearly see that this hand just doesn't have the same flexibility and dexterity as the other hand. Now, practicing with both hands is important to make sure everything is well loosened up, but it allows you to do twice as many things because you're doing the same moves, but if you're doing it on both the right and left side, more misdirection possibilities. Now, one of the misdirection things that I love about the coin roll is as you come down here like this, you can grab that coin, and as you notice, the coin is gone, but reappears here. So the idea there, even if you have another coin, you can introduce another coin simply by making it look like it's the same coin, especially if it is the same coin. And this is a great way to introduce a second coin because the coins tend to get cold if you have them sitting out too long because they're metal, cold steel. So you got to go over your fingers here to warm them up. So the objective is to make it look like you're just grabbing the same coin, but it's the same idea as like the shuttle pass idea where you're going from hand to hand. Ultimately, you might want to create a little bit of movement with them. As you hide one, you come across here and you just flip it a little bit. And that gives you the idea of motion. You can do the same thing with the finger rolls, but that allows you to effectively have two coins look like one. Now, part of the reason why you might want to have a second coin is because obviously if you're doing teleportation effects, if you have two coins, then you can simply have that coin appear to go across. And all I did there was I just shot the coin across. That looks great. But in reality, the coin hasn't moved. It's still over here. Once again, you put the coin across to here and get a good shoot going there so it looks like it goes across, but it's not. It's still here. So that's just a simple idea that we can work with. And one of the ideas, I don't have the book. I kind of want the physical copy because it'd be a great one to read. I I believe it's Darwin de Ortiz with Magic in Mind, something like that. Maybe it's a different one I'm thinking about. I have the ebook, the digital one that I go through, and I really love the book because there's a section in there that breaks down magic as an idea, as an effect. And what's great about that is we ask ourselves as magicians, what would it look like if we were doing real magic? And one of the things that I can think about if we were doing real magic is this idea of having a coin teleport, but it didn't actually teleport, it's still here. So teleportation is a magical principle in and of itself. I mean, scientifically speaking, that'd be great if that's what you want to go with, saying, oh, this is, I have the ability to create a teleporter. You don't believe me? Look, it's still over here. You have this notion. But first, I would set up this premise that you only have one coin and do a one coin routine and then go into the idea of the coin jumping back and forth as a teleportation effect. So there's a way to build into that story, especially if you're doing magic or you're doing science. I like a little bit of both because, as the saying goes, with science and magic, you know what it is. That's in terms of putting myself on the spot here, if I can remember verbatim, which I don't think I can, but I think it's something like magic that is, or science that isn't explained as just magic or something like that. So, because there's obviously scientific principles that look magical until we figure out how it's done. So that's the idea. But yeah, so we've got some magic books here that we'd like to get into, and I'm wondering, just looking through Calico here. Obviously, if you are watching, this is a brand new book. I'm not going to go through everything that's in here, but I will give you kind of like a little rundown. I haven't even done a review on it yet. Let's see. Printed in China. Fascinating. Let's see. Designed by Andy Gladwin. Cover designed by Mitchell Kasotic or Mitchit. That's cool. Illustrated by Rick Holcomb. Proofread by Joshua J. and Mike Vance. Some big names there. Fascinating. So this was actually a little joke that I like to tell here. So it says Vanishing Ink on here, which is where I got this from. I didn't actually get this from Vanishing Ink. I ordered this from Trick Supply. It came in a Murphy's Magic Supply box from Vanishing Ink. So 3 different places got their hands on this before I got to it. This is still for sale. I believe there was a numbered amount of copies from Rick Holcomb himself on his website. If you're a part of his group and following, there was only a couple dozen, I think. They're $60, at least the last time I checked, and he does sign them. So if you do want to get one from him directly, I believe you can find them on his website. I don't know what the cutoff would have been for joining his email list and things like that. But I have other products from him because I've been following him for years. So, sleights. So we do have some interesting things in here. Some of these are actually on his YouTube, I believe, unless these are further evolved sleights. And then you've got part 1, part 2, part 3, and there's a bunch of fun stuff in there. So, yeah, I can't really teach anything per se from this book. I definitely don't want to take you down that rabbit hole. Maybe after a couple of years. There's always potential. But I would definitely highly recommend going to check out Rick Holcomb. RickHolcombe. Yeah, I'm just reading it. I just want to make sure you got it right. It's on the cover. So that's a good one. But I know I can deep dive into Bobos because this material has been out. And a lot of the stuff in here, I know we got from like David Regal, David Roth, and even here with Bobos. Like there's even tricks that he has that I've done on my channel that are reimagined tricks from this book. Because this is, you got to have it on your shelf if you're going to be doing coin magic. Said it before, I'll say it again. Quick tricks, 27 tricks, coins across. I actually do the coins across from this book. I believe it's from this book. Just I've read so many books. It could have been Mark Wilson's, but I think it's from this one. So actually, my coins across is slightly different from this coins across. So let's see if I can remember even how to do this coins across here. Nope, that's not how you do this coins across. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go with it for now. Magically switch it in the hand here, and then of course that one's over here. That's kind of a variation. So what happened was, and this is kind of how things will happen for you, I learned the move, and then I performed it so many times that I kind of developed my own handling for it, and now this is more of a closer version to something that I learned from Boris from Copeland's. It was actually a ring and a coin, and I do this kind of idea here, and let's see if I can perform that here. So still a coins across the idea where the coin goes into the hand, and then yeah, that's not what I do. I'm trying to remember what I do. Just did it earlier. maybe like this. Oh, in the hand, and then put it here. Oh, oh, it is. This is weird. This is real weird. So put that into that hand, and now they're here. That's not what I do. This is what I do. I do apologize. My brain stopped working. Morgan dollar here. Kraken will go here. And now the Morgan dollar is here, and the Kraken is here. So it's a little switcheroo of coins, and that is kind of the Ouroboros idea. I stopped doing this one, which isn't a bad way to go, technically, to get the coin here. And then I believe what I was doing for this one is if I had the table, I would kind of roll it out like that, and then come over here to show this one. So that is something you learned from Bobos. Not a terrible idea. Switching coins is also a fun little effect, but it's still teleportation. Really what it comes down to is my 2-for-1 special. My 2-for-1 special is quite simply something that I tell you that I have 2 coins, and the objective is for you to see the moment that it switches. Because it's all about a matter of perspective with the light. I kind of did this a little bit earlier, where things kind of change based on how the light is on it. Let's take a look at it in the light up here. Oh, dropped it. Here it is. Now you really got to be careful with this part, because this is the one that even fools me. Kraken there. And of course now there's nothing. And we dropped the Kraken. But that's okay. That is okay. Kraken here. We could stop dropping the Kraken. Morgan dollar over here. Oh. Now it's gone. I don't typically do that. So the whole idea with the 2-for-1, once again, is this notion. It's partly a challenge, but it's also for entertainment purposes. People always want to see how the magic is done, how the trick is done. So for that particular routine, I show you how it works, which is that I have 2 coins. Now, yes, the objective is for you to see how it's done. I mean, it's switching in the hand. But all of these dazzling flips and things like that to show you that the coin is changing, that one I'm really proud of. This one here is nice, but it's still such a wonky way of doing things. to get the coin here. And then, of course, this moment, you think that there's something in the hand, but there's not. And then when you drop it, there it is. Now, picking it back up, this is where I kind of deviated there because I am trying to add a final phase to this, which is to wrap up this whole trick where you get rid of all the other coins. Well, to get rid of both coins. So the objective is this. Throw it there. Show that coin. Take the coin. And it's gone. Now that's one way to do it. Obviously, if you're sitting, you can just lap them. Not very good at lapping. Something I still need to work on. But I'm trying to work that to the point where I can do a 2-for-1, but then end with no coins in a way that is plausible, because you know that you're following one coin, but all I need to do at the end is just get to this moment where I feel like I can reasonably make it seem like I've gotten rid of one magically. Like I actually do have one coin. Maybe it's the same coin just with two different sides. However I do that, I feel like I'm comfortable enough when I'm like in the zone to get down to one. But all I need is just one of those fantastic moments like that where I can easily, and did I back up far enough, or is that my button? Yeah, that's my button. I tricked myself. I thought for a second anyway. So to do like a vanish like this, where it comes over to here, and then, I mean, you probably saw me drop that, so that probably wasn't good because I gotta go down far enough. We'll give this out. This is practice. This is what this is. So doing the French drop over to here, and then you know that I've been doing this thing back and forth where I've been switching hands. So once this is up here, and then I can kind of just rotate this hand out. Don't do that during your performance. Now, obviously that trick only works in front of the computer. People have got away with lapping when they're at a table at a performance. Again, I'm not the best at lapping, so maybe another idea would be to... This is just the thought process here. I got some to say that, like, if you have a pen here, it's like, well, what if we had you sign? What if we had you sign the coin? See, I mean, I'm of the mind that there should still be a coin here to do that with. Because then you still have to put, like, you could show that this hand is here. Why don't you take a look at that? They still think it's here. They see this is here. And then maybe creating some motion. Because I feel like if you went directly from dropping the coin in the pocket, taking the pen out, and then revealing this, I don't think that works. I think you have to create a moment where they're like, hey, why don't you go ahead and take the pen? And then we're just going to have you put a dot. And now this could be like a permanent marker or something. Go ahead and put a dot right there. No? Okay. Oh, would that work? No, I don't think that. Like if you were to go ahead and stick the pen in between, if it's a permanent marker, go ahead and put a dot right there. And then you can open and have the dot on your hand. The coin's already gone, obviously. Does that work? I don't think so, but it could. Does anybody have any ideas if you're watching? What's your thoughts on that? Do you think that's something that could work? I mean, it's a 2-for-1 special, so you can obviously go with like, oh, you gotta buy it while supplies last, and then of course at the end, we're gonna go with a red dot. Maybe you've got, because red dot is a lot of the time it's a sale. So I just want you to go ahead and stick that through there, and give it like a tap, which will mark up the coin, so that we can red dot it for a final sale. Okay, perfect, and it's gone. Thank you. Recap the pen, and you put that away, and then you're done. I like it. I think that it would require a little bit of reworking of the middle because, like I said, there's two vanishes there that are really hot key because you want to get to that final coin, and then you want that coin to vanish in a way that they believe that the coin is in the hand. That's like the biggest part about this that is the hardest sell. Like, this is how I typically start off. Like, if I'm doing a coin thing, I start off with the hands empty. Like, oh, what are we going to do today? I don't know. I'm going to clean up my mess here. That's great. What if we were actually to take a coin from the air? Just an imaginary coin, put it into the hand. Notice the dip that I do there to give it some weight, right? And then when you hit your hand, it gives that illusion that the coin is coming out of the hand that you just threw nothing in. So I like that. Now it's coming from this hand over to this hand to show that the coin is in a magical state of being, right? It's a creature of its own design. And this is the coin that you end with too. So once you do that initial production, then you're going to want to figure out how to, obviously get this up to here. You can dip your hand down. Maybe this is when this comes out like this. And you can easily go into some type of idea. This is how I make two coins look like one, or I make one coin look like two coins. Potentially, like that. Drop it down up here. I love this. I still love that because there's so many things happening there that you kind of really have to pay close attention. This is the one that even fools myself. And then maybe this is where you go get the marker. Like maybe this is here and you're just like, okay, so maybe if we mark one of them, that'll work. So let's go ahead and mark one of them here. Go ahead and take the cap off of that. We're going to go ahead and take this one here. So we're going to mark it on the front and the back. So go ahead and take the marker. We're going to put it through there. Tap, tap, tap. Beautiful. Go ahead and put the cap back on that. We don't need that now. Okay. And now, that was the final sale. I don't have the pattern worked out yet. Final sale, and it looks like it is gone. That wasn't bad. And all you had to do was just interject or introduce a wand type effect to this. And then now you have the coin gone completely. So what do we do there? This is gold. And I've already forgotten most of it. So this is why you really and I'm just doing this live, just trying to spitball some ideas of how to produce an effect that beginning, middle, and end. The beginning is the coin appears. The middle is that there's one coin that looks like two coins going back and forth, which is in effect, if you're going to write down your set list and your patter dialogue, your show notes, it's going to say there's two coins that are switching back and forth magically, or technical skill. And then as you go through, you're going to make one of the coins disappear to leave one coin, and then you're going to presume to mark up that coin, leaving dots on your hand. You can even see a little bit there that there's a little pen mark on my hand, and then the other coin is gone too. Once you do the cleanup, gone. Because you really want to sell the idea that the coin is in the hand. And that's really what coin magic is so about. It's all about buying and selling off shares of your spectator's spotlight, right? Because everything's happening right here. So you really have to have numeric control and take accountability for what you're presenting to your audience, because this in so many ways, if you simply do something like this, you could have the best French drop ever. As soon as you do that, the coin is automatically going to be in the other hand, which it is. So what you need to do is you need to create a moment where it hits like a chain reaction, right? It's like a chain reaction because you're going to do something like this. You got this hand empty, and it's like that. So even if you were to bring this down as you bring this up, and you simply keep this hand down, you're already in this motion of having the coin here. So this is down at your side. You've already prepped yourself, and then they're like, oh, it's just in the other hand, and you're like, nope. And I love that effect. That one does work live, but again, it's a risky maneuver because you're going from back palm. Your cover is the clap. Okay? And you have to be so quick with it, and that's why you have to be ready for it. So that's why I tend to do a move like that. Same idea that I do with the making it appear from the back of the hand like that. But in this case, I'm going from the back palm. As I'm clapping, it's coming here, and I'm shooting it up out of the hand. Even though they just saw both hands empty. And I've circled back the back palm because I have at least two solid effects, which, again, there's this one, which is just a simple pass over to here. You can pull up your sleeves and whatnot. And we've dropped it. It's going to happen, I tell you. If you're practicing coins right now, I promise you've dropped it. And it just gets this moment where everything's over here locked over. And even if they look over here, they see this hand. All they see this hand doing is going from this to this to this. So even if they suspect it to be over here, they're not going to see it until you want them to see it. Everybody else is going to be focusing over here. You can even do a little motion where you're just like, and then catch, which looks similar to this, where you have it in the back. Rotate out, throw up, catch it over here at the fingertips. Rotate out, drop it down, toss it up to get some motion, right? Because what does motion do? It captivates the audience. I say this probably every single live and as much as I possibly can. Jimmy Talks a Lot has hammered this into my brain. If you only perform on this box, your magic's going to be really small. So you have to practice for the world to see, which means that your coin magic shouldn't be happening right here. It shouldn't look like this. This is what this trick would look like right here. And that's not what it should look like. Not at all. Not even in the slightest. This is what it should look like. Howdy, everybody. Today we have a Morgan dollar. We're simply going to take the Morgan dollar over to here, and we just give it a little bit of a squeeze, and it'll appear over here. So you're creating this motion with your body. You're outstretching your arms. You're getting this really, this beautiful separation of your arms to show everybody everything. That's really what you want when you're doing, especially coin magic, but any magic in general. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Okay. And it's back to the back palm because that's what we do. We just spend our entire lives doing the back palm. If you want a refresher of that, if you're just jumping in, back palm here, fingertip grip, right? That's between your index and your middle finger with your thumb. You're simply going to let it drop down to your middle finger and ring finger, still with your thumb. And then you're going to rotate down like this. And then when you come down, you're going to let the coin, you're going to curl your hand and let the coin slide in between those while it's facing down, and then bring it back up. Okay? And that's the finger. It's going to be in between your index and your pinky. And I like to keep the hand curled here because if you try to outstretch your hand, you're going to get this depth problem where they're going to see the fingers are outjointed. So if you're still holding like this, and then when you come back around, you can fold it around to show that the hand is empty. And then show the coin is still there. Ha-cha! I'm really curious to know what you guys think of the back palm for the coin, whether or not it's a hard move for you or whether or not it's an easy move for you. But before we go, and go we must. We got to try to do it with the left hand. So that's where the real fun is. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Ready? Starting in the fingertip grip, because that's where the coin is going to be the most visible. Letting it slightly slide down on purpose in between these two fingers. And then rotating the hand down. Look at that. Already losing control. I can already feel the tension on these knuckles and on these fingers as I try to open up my hand. And I needed to help that a lot, and I still can feel like I can't even hold the coin while curling that. So I've got it there like that, and then it's going to reappear like that. Now notice, I feel like I could almost do this as like a production. Over here, not so much. It's weird because the muscles are just tightening up so much on the hand before I can open it. And I just feel like I got this window in here, and you can see the coin down here, and you can kind of see it over here too. I mean, it's not like it's invisible, but this is almost comfortable for me to do. So what's your guys' thought on the back palm on the difficulty of this move? See, I can't even, like, that's a really weird sensation to be able to open up the hand. Like, how far can I open up this hand? I can pretty much open up this hand completely. I can place other coins in this hand like that, and now we've got a nice Kraken, a nice Bigfoot coin, and now there's 3 coins in that hand. I could almost pull off some sort of double, like, let's see, we got a Bigfoot coin over here, and now there's 2 coins in that hand. Clearly, we have 1 coin. Now there's 2. Now, if you wanted to really get away with this, to make it as silent as possible, you would toss this up as far as you possibly could into the hand, so that when you rotate this up for the cover, it's going to land here on the fingers, so they wouldn't hear the until you close. Now, that could be something that you'd really want to get used to doing, but I could definitely see how there would be a little bit of a flash there. So you'd kind of almost want to do it at the same time. This is probably the best angle over here. Tossing this into this hand, and you can see the 2 coins. So that's potentially something that you can do with the back palm. But once again, we got to get the back palm over here. Now, you may have noticed with the French drop, which is one of my it's the first move that I learned, and it's one that I've been doing for quite a while. A lot of great things you can do with the French drop. I stopped doing it like this, and I started doing it like this, which seems interesting, but I tell you what, it is so much better. So thank you. Special guest, number 75. I do apologize. These guys are fantastic. Doug Kahn had him on there, and he's doing this really beautiful thing. It was either Doug Kahn or the Magic Guys. Same difference in some cases. But it looks better. It just looks better because it's not falling into the hand. Like, that's... I mean, that looks fine. But I love this because you can keep your hand open. I mean, that looked like a really clean take, right? I mean, I did take it. I gotta mess with you somehow. But anyway, but again, like, it just looks so clean. What? Because it looks like the coin is just, it's on display, right? It's on display. The fingers are open. Where could this possibly go? And it's gone. I mean, so I would definitely recommend you take the French drop to the next level with that little subtlety. Wowzers, what are we at here? We're at 45 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look in the book here. And I'm going to find the section on the back palm. while I'm doing that, feel free to drop a comment, questions, concerns for my health. I don't know, something. The Miser's Dream. I gotta read that one. I have a Miser's Dream effect that I haven't polished, and I'm really sad about that because Easter just passed, and it's an Easter Miser's Dream. Shh, secrets, secrets. You guys have been here for 45 minutes. Anybody jumping on is going to see something spectacular. 1 second. This is my Miser's Dream. Okay, this is absolutely amazing. I'm just getting something set up here. Obviously, there's a setup. Why wouldn't there be, right? That's why I have these books here to hide stuff. Just kidding. Okay, so the same idea that we were just talking about in reference to the coin idea. So we have a 50-cent piece, right? So it's Easter time. You got some money. And what are you going to do with that money? I'll tell you what you're going to do with that money. You're going to spend it on some chocolate. Ho, ho, ho. We got chocolate money. Yep, chocolate money. Now, what I like to do with this here is first I get rid of that. Then, what I like to do is I like to toss this into the, get this, back palm. What? But don't worry, it's still here. I love it. I love it so much. I can even take this and pass it underneath and it'll go inside. That's a good one. Yeah. It's real nice. But don't worry. I can just still keep pulling this out of kids' ears, whatnot. I can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. I can even, watch this, throw it in the air, falls in. What? It's cuckoo bananas, right? But don't worry, I can get another one. Even if I were to drop it, eat it, it still goes in there. It's just a lot of fun. That's what I'm telling you. It's a lot of fun. But I can still produce it as many times as I want. This is the fun one. The fun part. I'll go back to the back palm, right? The back palm. It disappears from here, goes up into the air, goes in there, but don't worry, it's back. You could even, don't worry, you can even see the moment it goes in there. Yeah, it actually goes in there. Now this time, what's really interesting, see the coins in there, right? This time, what's really interesting is I can just imagine the money going in there. Yeah, just imagine a coin, a yummy, delicious chocolate coin goes in there. From the bottom, remember we just said that, goes in there. Over here, over here. Oh, I almost dropped that one. Gotta be careful, gotta be careful. Now the last one, I want you, yeah, you out there, to just pretend like you're throwing a coin in there. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, you got to see my Miser's Dream. That's my Easter version. I don't have, I gotta polish it up. I have like a loose rough draft pattern form, but that's my Miser's Dream with a Easter tin and chocolate coins. Wowzers, right? Wowzers. Super duper innovative. I have a pretty decent magic show that Easter show that I have it in my member section, but I haven't polished it. I have the whole thing. I have a whole Easter show that I need to like. And at this point, I need to get back into like the whole deal, which I kind of have been doing. If you guys have been following along with my rope magic, that rope magic stuff that I do is kind of my Peter Cottontail trick. kind of deal where I'm making my own, bunny tail kind of thing. It's kind of just gags and jokes and things like that. So it's just for funsies. But that's kind of the rope style that I do for that. Cut and restored is fine, but I do have to develop a solid one before I try to put that out there, because knotology is fun and I enjoy that. So I do that for now. But some coin magic. We talked about Miser's Dream. I have a Miser's Dream routine that I need to polish. Yeah, so you got to see once again, you got to see my idea, my hypothesis, and my magic theory behind how a routine should go. There's 3 phases. Phase 1 is a single coin, which, mind you, I didn't go too far into that, but we just did like half an hour worth of single coin material. That's the point. Start with a single coin. At some point, get a second coin, do the transformation, and then go into the Miser's Dream. That's the idea. So there's the Coins Across, there's the Miser's Dream, there's Coin Box, which, sad to say, I mean, my coin box is sitting here with dust on it, my little Okido box. Let's see. What's this? Page 341, 18 routine coin acts. Let's take a look at that. 341. I think I do that one. I do a version of that, kind of, sort of. Oh, I did have a really nice. I do a coin matrix, but then I also do like a coin transposition, which I learned from here. That one I might have to. That one's rusty, like real. Like I wouldn't even perform it. Rusty type deal. The fun thing about Miser's Dream, and I think that the idea of giving away magic is, for one, like if you're watching this, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. But this channel has always been predicated on the idea of magic theory first. And so I do card reviews and magic theory. That was the name. Now it's just me because it's just me playing around. But Miser's Dream is one of those types of tricks that it has so little to do with the premise, or not the, I apologize, the mechanics, and everything to do with the premise, because in order for you to sell it, in order for you to have this spectacular effect, you have to sell it. You have to perform the whole idea of it in this magical, illusionary way. And that makes it like the best Miser's Dreams are ones that captivate in a real higher space kind of way, because it's as simple as tossing coins into a bucket. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like you have to really be able to entertain the audience and get laughs and have fun with it. Let's see, they're doing I'm not there yet. 341. Oh, I do have a. That's a card through silk. I don't know if I still, my coin through silk is again a little rusty. There's the Miser's Dream. It's a fun one. Fun, fun, fun. So many fun things here. Here we go. Okay, so this is routines with a single coin. Let's learn it. Let's go ahead and just learn this. It's a simple 4 paragraph thing. Let's take a look. With a single coin, begin the routine by showing a coin in your right hand. Exhibit the left hand to be empty and close it in a loose fist with fingers underneath. Rest the lower edges of the coin on the back of the left hand and pretend to push it through the hand, utilizing the moves described in Through the Hand. Remove your handkerchief. Oh, I was gonna say, like, remove it. I didn't know we had one. So have a handkerchief, throw it over the coin. Let's see. This is gonna be rest the lower edges of the coin back of your hand, and then you gotta execute the moves of the but through the hand. So we'll need to look through the hand up on page 67. Remove your handkerchief, throw it over the coin, then cause the coin to apparently penetrate the cloth by performing through a handkerchief. A or B. Oh, so these are like, okay, so here's the fun part that I should take a step back to tell you about. Routines require you to know multiple phase things. So that's fun. So we need to learn through the hand, through the handkerchief. The first version is the old standby where the coin is covered with the handkerchief and a small pinch of cloth secured at the base and rear of the coin with the left thumb. In the action of showing the coin, again, it is brought outside the handkerchief, then worked through the fabric. In the second method, the handkerchief is spread over the palm, up left hand, right hand pretends to deposit coin on handkerchief above left palm, but retains it thumb palm and drops it in left hand under cover of lifting rear edge of handkerchief and showing left hand empty. Climax. The routine, by vanishing the coin, employing method 1 with a handkerchief, hold the coin chest high in the left hand as right hand spreads handkerchief over coin with an inward movement, clip coin between right forefinger and thumb, carry it back and drop it in left breast coat pocket, which we have. There's a lot to break down here. We said there's only 3 sections, but there's only 4 paragraphs, and there's multiple tricks happening here. So this is going to take us some time to really evaluate what it is that it's asking here. So first, we're going to take it step by step. Begin the routine by showing the coin. Exhibit the left hand is empty. Put the hand down, a loose fist. Rest the lower edges of the coin, and then you're going to want to pretend to push the coin through the hand, utilizing moves described in Through the Hand, page 67. So that's the first thing we need to do, is go to page 67. Okay, Through the Hand. There are many occasions when the magician needs a little trick to perform on the spur of the moment, an incidental effect that can be done quickly without special props. This is just such an effect. I will describe 3 methods. Clyde Carey method. A $50 is shown in the left hand. The hand is then closed in the right hand. Turn over so the back of the hand is uppermost. The fingers work the coin partially out of the fist. So that one works something like this, where you're showing it in the hand here, just in case that tries to close on us. It's in this hand. You're going to simply bring it over here like this. And then I had to clap it down because it actually jumped. It came through the hand so quick that if I hadn't caught it, we would have lost it. So that's that version. There's other ways to do that, of course. Let's see. Here's the one that we need. Okay, B. This is the next, let's see. Show the left hand empty. Close in a loose fist. Turn it over. Fingers underneath. Hold the $50 near the edge between the tips of the right finger and the thumb. Press its milled edge against the back of the left hand. Suddenly push the fingers of the right hand down over the coin. The illusion is that the coin is pushed through the back of the left hand. At this moment, the coin is concealed behind the right fingers, which rest momentarily on the back of the left hand. Without changing the position of the right fingers and thumb, quickly move the hand about 6 or 8 inches to the right, turning the left hand over, opening at the same time. As the spectators see the empty left hand, say nothing in the hand. Immediately switch the right hand back to the left, tossing the coin into the left hand as it closes. The right fingers assume the original position of on the back of the left hand. As you add one more little rub and the coin goes right through. So from what I'm reading, which this might take a little bit more to figure out, from what I'm reading is that this is the coin here. It's going down to there. You're showing the coin is not there. But then, with a little bit of a rub, it appears there. Right? They want you to toss it into the hand. So as you're going to turn it back over to do this, you're going to do one of these, which is actually a move that we've already learned. Maybe it's the same one. I don't know. The idea is that you're going to drop it into the hand like this. We've learned this for the coins across effect. So if you get it good enough, it just looks like you're just, revealing the coin. But from here, nothing has happened yet. But with a little rub, it'll appear. Maybe not quite. Maybe like this. Nothing has happened yet, and as it's coming to close, you're basically and now it's through. So something like that might work. I think that's predicated on the fact that, if I'm using that word right, that's the idea. Now, remove your handkerchief. It's a lot. I know, it's a big one. Remove your handkerchief, throw it over the coin, then cause the coin to apparently penetrate the cloth by performing through the handkerchief on page 68. This is good stuff. Once it's all put together, this really does work out. Now, the first one I'd already known. I do know a coin through handkerchief. I don't know if it's going to be the same one, but let's take a look. It's on the next page from what we just looked at. Method A or B. Display the $50 in your left hand, holding it upright between the fingers. And the thumb. With your right hand, a borrowed handkerchief, drape it over the left so its center covers the coin, allowing the spectator to feel the coin through the cloth, verifying that the fact that it is still there with the aid of the right hand. The left thumb pinches over a small fold at the base of the coin. This fold is to the rear and is not seen by the spectator. Say, let me show you that the $50 is still underneath the handkerchief, which we're actually really close to the edge there, so we're going to come back to the center of the white here. Show that it's under there. Let's see. With the right hand, seize the front. Lift it up, thus giving a brief view of the coin. The right hand then returns the handkerchief to its original position as the left simultaneously tosses forward the back half of the handkerchief. This subtlety causes all the folds of the handkerchief to fold down in front of the coin. At this point, the coin is outside the handkerchief and is held in a horizontal position between the middle finger underneath and the thumb on top. With the right hand, grasp the handkerchief a few inches below the coin and pull downwards as you twist counterclockwise. Next, grip the handkerchief with the right, second, third, and fourth fingers. The thumb presses against the opposite. So you're twisting up like this. Press against the opposite edges of the coin. Finally, squeeze the coin into view. Something like that, maybe. The handkerchief is undamaged. Okay, so there's a little bit more. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So all together now, here's what that's going to look like. Still there? Okay. Just going to wrap this up real nice and neat. But then the coin should come right through. Something along those lines to effect that it's coming through the handkerchief. Again, takes a little bit more time than that, but we're just going with the basic assumption of it coming through there. It does say you could use B. The first one is the old standby. Let's see, where the coin is covered with the handkerchief and a small pinch of cloth secured at the base and rear of the coin, with the left thumb in the action of showing the coin again, it is brought outside the handkerchief, then worked through the fabric. So we did that. In the second method, which we're going to skip that for now and go right to 3 because we're not doing the second method, climax the routine by vanishing the coin and applying method 1 with a handkerchief, page 53. Hold the coin chest high in the left hand as right hand spreads handkerchief over coin with an inward movement. Clip coin between right forefinger and thumb, carrying it back and drop it in left breast pocket. So that's going to be 53. So let's go to page 53. So first is coin through hand, then coin through handkerchief. Now we're doing method 1 with a handkerchief. As a favorite vanish among coin conjurers is this old standby. It is still a first-rate audience fooler, and best of all, it is not difficult to perform. Any size coin may be used to good effect. For better understanding of all moves, it is suggested that the feat be rehearsed with the articles in hand. I have them in hand. Stand facing the spectator as you call attention to the $50. Hold it vertically about chest high. Behold, the Morgan dollar in the hand on the table. Hold it vertically about chest high. This would be vertically. This would be horizontal, vertically. Between the first 2 fingers, it's showing here, with your silk. A man's handkerchief is held right in the right hand, like this, by one edge between the first 2 fingers, while the third and fourth bend inward, pressing a fold against the palm. So against one edge, like this, while this is pushing in a fold against the palm. Okay? It will be found, let's see, it will be found that when the handkerchief is held in this manner, the thumb and forefinger remain free. Thus, being in the necessary positions to pick up the coin, which is what actually takes place later, This grip also spreads the handkerchief considerably, affording more cover for the secret steal. The right hand, still holding the handkerchief as described above, moves in front of the coin, then travels inward until the coin is in the center of the cloth. Is over the coin. At this stage, the grip of the handkerchief is released, allowing it to drape naturally over the coin, holding in the left hand. Next, the right hand grasps the coin through the handkerchief from above and turns it over so the fingers of that hand point upward. The coin will now be in view, as shown in figure 2. So everything's let go, and then you're going to show it like this here. Call attention to the fact that the coin is still there. Apparently, the foregoing moves are repeated, but this time the coin vanishes. The left hand takes the coin once more as described. The right hand moves across through the motions of covering the coin. However, this time the right thumb and forefinger snatch the left hand in the action of draping the coin. Let's see here, like this. See, covering the coin. This time, however, the right thumb and forefinger snatch the coin from the left hand in the action of draping the handkerchief over the top, over the hand. The right hand moves back towards the upper breast pocket, quickly drops the coin therein. The operation is fully shielded from the spectator's view by the handkerchief. During the action covering the coin the second time, raise the left hand slightly and center your full attention on it. This serves as a bit of misdirection and helps to conceal the movement of the right hand as it deposits the coin in the pocket. There should be no noticeable difference in the second covering of the coin over the first, as actually both are almost identical. As soon as the coin falls into the breast pocket, the right hand releases its grip on the handkerchief and pretends to take the non-existent coin through the center of the cloth. Both hands quickly bunch up the handkerchief and toss it in the air. As it falls, the hands catch it and spread it out and show it empty. The coin has faded away completely. Okay, so now we're doing coin through hand, then we have coin through handkerchief, and then we have handkerchief vanish. 3 different things going on here. Let's see if we can put it all together. Let's see. Starts. This is the other one. This is coin through hand like this, with the gyrations and having the coin come through the hand. You could probably put a couple of those together, which would be fine. But in this particular case, would you like to see the coin go through the hand? Yes. Nothing in the hand here. Coin here. 1, 2, 3. It hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. Sloppy. Move the wrong hand. Nothing here yet. A little bit of a rub, and the coin has melted right through. Now, of course, we could use the handkerchief, and we could potentially make the coin go through the handkerchief. Yeah. You could even still feel the coin there. Coin is still here. Now, we're going to simply take that coin, and we're going to give it a couple of twists. And then with a little bit of a squeeze, we might actually get it to come right out of the silk, the handkerchief. Stop calling it silk. Terrible. Okay, now going from here, from the edge, still in the hand here. Let's try that one more time. we cover it up like this. You can clearly see that it is in the silk handkerchief. I'm going to get it. I'm going to figure this out. It's going to go. See, is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. Because it comes over to here like this. Cover it like this. Okay. And then it needs work. It needs work for sure. But that's the idea. So why don't I take some time to mull that over and to make that magic happen for you in my next video. That'd be a good idea, I think, for me to practice that some more on my off time so that you guys can see something stellar. And I'll post that and be like, hey, look at what we learned on my most recent Magic Live practice session. Woot woot, woot woot, you're learning magic here from Bobo's Modern Coin Magic. Yeah, that's fun. And I always like using the handkerchief. Not sure why I could remember that now, not in the thing there. This one is a little bit bigger, which could be good. Not that big of a problem. Or, could you do that? I mean, I doubt I could do it. Hold on. Hold the phone. Why? This is trippy. I don't know if this is a good idea, but we're gonna try it. Let's see. Where is my magic case? Not this one. There it is. This is my TCC magic case. It's what I carry when I go out to meetings and such. If I want to have my magic with me, that's what I have, all my stuff in. That's where I keep my extra little fun stuff. But this is where I really was wondering if I could do something with the jumbo coin is the question, because I have a jumbo handkerchief. So, could I... Nothing here yet? That one's a tough sell. I know I've seen it done with the Tenkai kind of thing like this, where that could work, but you really want that coin to appear to go through the hand like this, and you can still see the coin sticking through there in some ways like that, unless I went into a Tenkai, showing that it's empty, and then as I come back across, keep it nice and even, you can see that it's jumped. That could be fun. That could be fun. Now the real question is this. Because I have the big handkerchief, put that towards the center, you can actually still feel it in there. Yeah, let me go ahead and show you. You can still see it in there. Okay. Give this a little bit of a twist. And then watch as it melts right through. I feel like these are similar, but there's a little bit different stuff happening here like this. Showing it going over like this, you can clearly see that it's still in there. Once again, see, I don't like the idea of that. So now we're talking about it a little bit more because I'm using the jumbo coin. But I don't like the idea of taking the silk like this, covering it up, showing this, and then taking the coin out to then come back over to do the same thing again. That one just kind of really messes me up a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that. But now that we've got the coin in there, we can just call it good, right? We might be onto something here, guys and ladies and individuals out there in the YouTube land. So this is my favorite vest. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's got 4 pockets, and yes, I can fit a jumbo coin in there as well as another coin. How long has that been in there? That's interesting. Yeah. What else I got in these pockets? Ho ho! Thank you, everybody. And remember, always remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And hopefully, we see you in the next one. Okay, bye.